Hello guys, this is Edgar the Reactor here, and today we're gonna be reacting to Backyard Stories by Let Me Explain Studios. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and turn on the notification bell below. I'll be starting reaction videos in my main channel, the one where I've been doing like plushie videos and other stuff. And don't forget to subscribe to my to follow my Instagram and follow my Facebook. And yeah, so with that being said, let's get to Backyard Stories by Let Me Explain Studios, and I'll put the link to the original video in the description below. Okay, let's get started.
Ah, the backyard. The personal wonderland of suburban kids everywhere. A place of curiosity and imagination. A minefield of anthills and lost Hot Wheels. A peaceful refuge where the greatest childhood memories are made.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Sometimes you did.
Hello, my
Oh
geeks
my
and geeks,
god,
my
I know
exfoliators
little
and
kids like
entertainers,
that
my
when they
little Ollies. Rebecca
just
Parham here.
want to blame
Backyards
the
are
other
great. They
person
have grass
when
and
not
trees
to admit
and
that they the one who
fences.
did it.
To a kid, they could be the plains of Africa, the jungles of Papua New Guinea, the great wilderness of Alaska, or the perfect place for a treehouse. Can I just go on record to say that I freaking love treehouses? I mean, look at these. They're mystical.
Oh yeah, those are
and
pretty nice
woodsy,
treehouses.
full of character. And away from people. Look at this one. I want to live
yeah,
there.
sometimes
I want to
you
hook it up
can
with
create your
Wi-Fi
own
and a
personality
sauna.
in
I want all the
the
local kids
treehouse.
to call me the Witch of the Woods and tell stories about how I'll steal your toes if you get too close to my house. I want to be a ghost story.
Cool.
Wait, we're off topic. Backyards. A staple of suburban living. I lived in suburbia as a kid with all the trimmings. Neighborhood kids to play with, nearby woods to explore, a school I could walk to and from. And you can't forget your standard issue bully that lives up the street. My bully kid was named Jay.
I know those days.
Short
good.
nose let out fiery
damn
sneeze, so Dad grabbed Puff Plus lotion to soothe her with.
Hey, Jocko. Now, Jocko wasn't your run-of-the-mill bully kid. You know, the big thundering monsters that you stay away from at all costs, like a Canker Sister or a Flats the Flounder. No. Jocko was more like Buford from Phineas and Ferb. Still a bully, but one that got involved in the adventures, and you invited over for a game of baseball sometimes. He was a weird one for sure. One time we were over at his house in his backyard, and he needed to, release the hounds. But instead of going inside and doing his business like a normal person, he popped a squat right there in the grass and made fertilizer.
Okay, what are you
and
doing?
then his dog ate it. He also once found a lighter in our backyard and decided that he wanted to make a campfire. And my sister and I were just like, yeah, sure, sounds fun. At some point during our tomfoolery of gathering things to incinerate in our campfire, Jocko wanted to act all tough, so he pointed the lighter at me and my sister and lit it. Just so happens, at that moment, my mom looked up from doing the dishes and saw that through the kitchen window, and she ran out screaming at us. Unsurprisingly, Jocko had to go home. Glad she caught us, too, because we weren't even messing around at that point. We were gonna light a freaking fire. Give the hellfire and brimstone preacher something to talk about, if you know what I mean. Lord, save us from the unholy demons known as the Parham children, thank you, Jesus. Actually, my dad did call me a firebug sometimes when I was a kid because I tended to like fire, and still kinda do. Hey, it's warm and pretty and gets rid of evidence. Everything you want in a boyfriend. But the big story that I remember about Jocko was the tree incident. One day, my sister and I were playing baseball with Jocko in our backyard when one of us hit the ball over the fence into the neighbor's yard. Our neighbor wasn't home and their backyard gate was locked, so Jocko came up with a bright idea. He began climbing our giant oak tree so he could swing over to the neighbor's tree, climb down.
Oh yeah, guys, not gonna lie, these backyard stories always make me happy and other stuff. And it's so crazy to hear about these backyard stories, that people are talking about. Yeah.
And retrieve the ball, and Rachel and I just stood there watching him climb, periodically going, "You're gonna fall! We're gonna have to call the fire department to get you down!" Which I think only strengthened his resolve to make his brilliant plan work.
Let him do what he wants.
Now strap in for this one, explainers, it gets good. When he got close to the neighbor's tree and was about 15 feet off the ground, he grabbed a pencil-thin branch in his hands and actually tried to swing to the neighbor's tree like he was freaking Tarzan. Apparently, Jocko has never seen a Wile E. Coyote cartoon because then he would have known better. Who says cartoons rot your brain? Guess what? The branch snapped.
Yes, and he fell. Damn, what a dumbass.
Ah!
See what happened now?
Jocko had not only fallen, no,
Damn,
he had
a
crashed
kid with
through
a zero
the neighbor's
IQ.
wet bar,
That's
which my
crazy,
sources tell
bro.
me is a bar or counter equipped with running water and a sink for serving alcoholic beverages in
Oh,
a
that's
home
cool.
environment. And Jocko had completely obliterated this thing. It was like a dinosaur had stepped on it. Just went.
Feel sorry for
Jocko
that
was
guy,
screaming
but
so
he
loud that
deserved
his
it.
dad, who was working in their front yard up the street, heard it, came
Oh,
running, and
damn.
kicked in the neighbor's gate to get to him. He ended up
Yeah.
having a broken arm, which I'm
course.
still surprised to this day that that's all that happened. From the damage
Yeah,
that I saw
that's
to this
crazy.
wet bar, I'm surprised he's not dead. There should have been some
Exactly.
fractured ribs or brain damage or something. Well,
Yeah,
I
he
guess if
shouldn't
you're meant to
be having
hang,
his-
you
all of
won't
his
drown.
bones broken
He also
by
had to
now.
pay the neighbor back for the wet bar, just to add
Oh,
insult to
he has to be
injury.
doing some yard
Rolling
work
on with
now?
the theme of breaking
Okay.
things, my sister and I actually did the childhood cliche of breaking a window with a baseball. You thought that opening skit was just a witty farce, huh? No, actually
Oh, really?
happened. My sister
It
and I
actually
were
happened?
in the backyard playing
Dang.
baseball with the neighborhood kids. Big surprise there. I was pitching, she was batting. I tossed her the ball. She hit
Okay.
it veered off to the right, and
what
crashed
happened?
right
And
through my
crashed the
parents'
window?
bedroom window.
Damn,
And everyone in
ooh,
that
you guys are in
backyard
trouble?
except Rachel hit the
You guys-
deck. My
you guys
parents
should
came
run.
racing outside and found my
Dang.
sister standing there with bat in hand, completely
Wow,
flustered.
she got
Both
caught.
of my parents were mad, but my mom told Rachel to go get her piggy bank because she was gonna pay for it. But Dad
Damn.
jumped in and said, "Hey, that's not fair. It was an accident. Every kid gets to
Wow.
break one window with a baseball."
Oh, really now, huh?
Yeah, that was my
How
dad
about you?
for ya.
Did
He
you
never
ever did
forgot
that
what
when
it
you were
was
a
like to
little
be a
kid?
kid, so he
Probably
wanted the
not.
most fulfilling childhood for us, including all of the classic mistakes like breaking
Okay,
a
what
window with a
happened?
baseball. So now I gotta tell one on me. About
Oh,
time,
really?
I suppose. When I was about 9 and should have known better, I would
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly,
pass the
should've
time
known
in the
better.
backyard by taking an old fence post, laying it over the side of our raised garden beds, and jumping on the end of it, launching an array of different materials into the air. Rocks, pebbles, grass, sticks, anything.
Dang.
This is what we did before we had the internet, kids. One
Oh,
day I
really,
really
huh?
wanted
Oh,
to
yeah, I
launch a
forgot
ball
about the internet,
off of my
kids.
makeshift
The
catapult,
in-
but there was
yep.
a problem. The ball would roll off of the fence post before I
course
could
it did.
launch it. Physics. Who knew? And in order
Exactly,
to
who knew
complete
of
my
physics?
little experiment, I needed an assistant.
And who was your
Oh,
assistant?
David! My little brother David was about 3 at the time and was very susceptible
Oh,
to
David,
suggestion.
huh? David-
Which worked
David
out
is your
perfectly for me,
assistant? A little
not so
kid?
perfectly for him. I told him on the
Bro,
count of
he's
3
a
he was
little
going to
kid
put
with
the ball on
zero
the fence
IQ.
post so I could
Think he's
quickly
gonna be
jump on
doing
the
that?
other end
Doing
before
what
it
he's
rolled
asked
off.
for to do?
Simple enough, wouldn't you say? But when I counted to 3 to commence our experiment, he did something
What
a little
happened?
unforeseen. He leaned down directly over the fence
Oh,
post
no, he's
to
gonna get
very
hit.
carefully
He's gonna get
place
hit.
the ball. And by the time I looked
Oh,
over
no.
and saw him
Look
doing
out.
that,
Look out!
it was too late. My entire weight came down and the fence post smacked him right in the face.
Dang.
Well, I'm dead.
Yeah,
I
she's
bequeathed
dead,
everything to
she's
my Teddy
dead.
Ruxpin. David rightfully
Why would
screamed at the
she
top
do
of his
that? See, this
lungs
is why you
and
don't
ran
get no little
inside to Mom
kids
and Dad,
to help
who
you.
were not happy at all. David's whole
course they were
face
not happy.
swelled up,
Look at
and
what
there
you
was
did
a
to a little
puncture wound
kid.
on his cheek that was maybe an inch away from his eye, and he still has a scar there to this day.
Wow.
I got in a lot of trouble, and my
That
parents
never went
yelled at
away.
me that I could have blinded him. Even though it was an accident and he wasn't supposed to put his face over the catapult.
Exactly
but
why you
I
don't
felt
have a
really
little kid
bad,
help
to the
you.
point where I still felt bad years
Dang.
later into adulthood when someone would bring up this story. But
Oh,
now
dang.
I've
So
animated
now
it
she's,
and shown
like,
it to a million people.
traumatized
So it
about
holds
it?
no more power over me anymore. Animation, my antidepressant. So
Oh,
yeah,
damn, that's
backyard,
crazy.
imagination,
You actually got
magic,
that?
wonder, childhood trauma, you get the idea. But seriously guys, go spend some time outside, get some sunshine and
Yeah,
fresh
that's true,
air, it
guys.
builds character. It's also
Which I do
really
every
good
day,
for
to
your
be
mental
honest.
health.
I
Anyways,
go outside
thank you
every day.
so much for tuning in, but wait a
Oh,
minute,
yeah, no
Editor
problem.
Becca here. I've got some things to tell you before we officially tune out.
Okay,
I'm gonna
what
be
happened?
at PAX South again, January 18th through the 20th in San Antonio,
Dang.
Texas. I'll just be
Oh, in
walking
San
around
Antonio,
to come up and
Texas.
say hi.
Yeah,
I'm also gonna be a
I'm
featured
super far from
creator at
there.
VidCon London, February 14th through the 17th.
Dang,
Really excited
okay.
about that one. It's gonna be my first time in Europe, and they have me doing a lot of cool stuff for the convention, so I hope you can make it. Also,
Oh, yeah,
for
I
those
hope
of
I
you
can
who
make
like
it.
my singing, I recently
Okay,
did a cover
okay.
of How Far I'll Go from a
Alright guys, that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and like it, and turn on the notification bell below so you guys can see more videos from Edgar the Reaction, and I'm gonna like put my Instagram and Facebook and in the description below. Okay, Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.